Another non-live episode, but nonetheless, we're back with another episode of the Purple Rain podcast with Sutton Def back in his studio. I mean, you got the lights up. I love it. You're back in
Yeah.
Maryland. You got me simply S10. I'm actually back in my room with the lights back up. Yeah, we're back here. And just real quick, you can find him on Twitter, on Instagram, at Sutton Def. Simple. Drop a
Mm-hmm.
follow, drop a like, drop a DM, drop a retweet, drop a share. All that.
All that.
And you can find me on Twitter at simplyas10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.pride. And oh boy, since Monday, you want to talk about news? We got news for you. We
Oh
got
yeah.
lots of it. We got new coaches. We got rumors. We got
Yeah.
confirmed. We have a whole lot of stuff, and we have press conferences next week. I
Mm.
am super excited. We were talking about it before we went live. I know you're excited too.
Yeah. Speaking of those press conferences, let's just kind of go through what's on slate for next week. So Monday we have head coach John Harbaugh, who actually just got an extension. He is doing his end of the season press conference, and then on Tuesday, I believe we're gonna have Mike Macdonald, our new defensive coordinator, who we just
Yes.
hired on Thursday night. And then on, I think it's Friday, right? We're going to see
Yep.
DaCosta talk. So, yeah, we have three big names that we definitely want to hear from all these guys. A new defensive coordinator, our head coach who just got
Oh,
extended, and our general manager who is going to be, this is the most important offseason of his career, you know?
yeah.
And we talked about that in a couple episodes of the show as well. So definitely want to make sure you're locked into the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel because all next week we will be covering all of those interviews. Trust me, we will.
Yes. Yes.
We will. So make sure you like this video first and foremost, and also subscribe to our channel as well. Make sure you don't, miss anything that comes out with us. And then also, most importantly, make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. That's how you're gonna get all the updates for everything Purple Rain, guys. Like and Ravens too. So make
I
sure you're
mean,
following us on Instagram.
and today we're using stats from our Instagram from the Purple Rain gang themselves and talk about it on the
Yes.
stream. So I'm actually pretty excited for that.
Yes.
Just as interactive polls. I mean, that's huge. We'll shout you out and we'll talk about it.
Right.
But I mean, just want to get into it real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
All right.
get into it. I think first what we have on tap is Harbaugh getting extended as head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Now,
Mm,
this is one where it's just like the news doesn't really surprise you, but it kind of rubs some people the wrong way, and for good reason too.
yeah.
Like Harbaugh has not been, I would say, like a top five coach in the past what 6-7 seasons. I don't think he has. And as we all know, he was on the verge of getting his job taken away from him until Lamar Jackson came into the fold and he started doing what he was doing, and then the Ravens started bouncing back and becoming a good football team again. So with that being said, John Harbaugh being extended is kind of because of what Lamar Jackson has done the past 3 seasons. No.
I mean, there's a reason why that he was the coach of the year in 2019. We went 14-2, and we absolutely the bed in the
Yeah.
playoffs, and we the bed last year in the playoffs in 2020. I mean, if it wasn't for Lamar, we don't win last year, and we have what I think 2 playoff wins since 2014.
Right.
Um, and I am a fan of Harbaugh, but since 2014, I mean, I don't know how old you were. I
Hmm.
was still going through puberty in 2014. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. And now it's like we're in a different regime now. We have Lamar, we have
Yeah.
DaCosta, we don't have Flacco, we don't have Ozzie, and God bless both of them, brought us success. But
Yeah.
it's like there's still Harbaugh who's been through here, and he was here when we had the defense. 2008, 2009, where we didn't have an offense. It was defense, defense, defense. Then we had Flacco, start to take over. Now we have Lamar, so it's like he's been the constant through it all.
Hmm.
But at some point, you got to ask yourself, like, is he the right person to keep us going?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely think that's fair. I definitely think you have to ask yourself: is he the right guy? Is he the guy who's going to be able to make adjustments? Is he the guy who's going to be able to stand tall
Right.
in those playoff games against the Chiefs, against the Bills, against
I
the
mean,
Bengals, anybody else? Like anybody in the AFC, because there's a lot of good
yeah.
contenders coming up right now. Is he going to be able to stand the test of time and like outcoach and outduel those guys, those other
Right.
coaches? So, and him getting an extension. How long is the extension for? Do you know? Did you say it?
I don't know. Probably 2 or 3 years, I'd expect. I mean, I know it was
Yeah.
last year now. It's probably like 20, 24, 25, I'd expect.
Right.
Um, but even that, it's like the times are changing. And you look at a guy like Andy Reid, he has Eric Bieniemy under him. I
Yeah.
know Reed will take over games, but Reed's been doing this since he was with the Eagles. I mean, he went to what 3 or 4 straight championship games with the Eagles.
Right.
Now 3 or 4 straight with them. Like it's it's just weird. But I know I saw mixed reactions on it. I know you did too. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, if we could give a rating to this, what would you give it?
Ooh, I would give it honestly a 6. I give it a 6. You know what? Honestly, no. I give it a 5. I give it a 5. I'm not gonna give it passing. I'm gonna give it a 5 because like it's kind of negligent to just like extend Harbaugh as if like he is like as if he just went out there and won a playoff game or won 2 playoff games or something like that.
AFC
We missed the
Championship.
playoffs, right? We
Yeah.
missed the playoffs, right? And a lot of those games that we could have won that could have got us into the playoffs, it was on him. He like there were calls that were made that did not need to be called. There were situations in games where we definitely could have handled things differently, which might have changed the outcome of those games. Because all those games that we lost, or at least most of them, excluding the 2 Bengals games where we got blown out, all those games were close. We lost those games by less than 3 points. So what that says to me is like when the going got tough, you did not make the right decisions to put your team in the right position to win the football game. And thank God we have Legatron Justin Tucker who can hit from 70 yards, or else we're looking at an 8-10 season.
And
I mean
losing to
seven
the
and ten season. I'm
Lions.
sorry. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I got you. I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely can see that. I give like a 6.5.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's that constant. I think this team is scared to change,
Yeah.
and I also think this is the biggest disconnect we've had from the front office in years. Not with players. Players, I think they interact with us. You see it.
Yeah.
I see players hopping on the podcast, hopping on the live streams. I just saw Rashad Bateman hop on one. But I
Hmm.
think it's the front office. There's just such a disconnect right now with just the fans. They don't keep us informed. Without us, who are you? We're paying your bills.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right about that. No need to mince words on it. Like, it
Yeah.
just seems like there's a lack of accountability. There's a lack of checks and balances in that organization. And, nobody really gets held accountable like they should, like they really should.
No.
And this is kind of an example of that. Like, hey, your team goes, what do we go? Like 8-9? We went 8-9, right?
Yep.
Your team goes 8-9. Hey, let's extend the head coach 3 more years. Losing season. Let's go ahead and give him an extension. Like, I don't know, man. I think they're gonna chalk all of it up to injuries. Just like the same reason why I don't think that they're gonna get rid of
Yep.
Greg Roman. They're gonna
Yep.
say, hey, look, we know your whole entire running back room was hurt before the season even started. We know you didn't get Rashad Bateman until like week 8.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give you another shot at this. But yeah, it just seems like negligent. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of accountability being held by the front office towards the coaching staff or really anybody else. It kind of sucks in that regard. Now, I do know we do have, like Alex said, we do have an Instagram poll that we put up not too long
Yes.
ago. It's kind of
Yep.
talking about how much you guys liked this move of keeping Harbaugh in the fold. So I'm actually gonna pull it up on screen for you guys and see what the Rain Gang said. You guys can see it right here.
Yeah.
So you can see, I actually, when we put this up here, I basically put how much do you like this move of keeping Harbaugh as the head coach for the next 2-3 years or however long he got extended.
Mm.
And there's like a bar, on Instagram, there's a bar you can drag it to your liking or whatever. So there's a thumbs up there. You can see the average answer is like, people are
A,
like
a 7-ish. It looks like a 7.
7. Yeah, people are like a 7 with this right now. Like I said, I'm like a 5.
Yeah.
I'm like a 5. But the majority of the Rain Gang and the Ravens flock, it seems like they are of the school of thought that Harbaugh is the guy that can get the job done, which is not, it's not too crazy to think about because while we did lose a lot of those games, yes, we were in those games despite all the injuries and things like that. But like I said, this is not a league where close gets you anywhere. Close only
No
counts in
moral victories.
hand grenades and horseshoes. Close
Yeah.
doesn't count in the NFL. It just doesn't. So yeah, but that's what the Rain Gang was thinking. Alex, what do you think about what the Rain Gang thinks? 7 out
I'm
of
just
10.
thinking about the hand grenades and horseshoes. Like that's something like I hear like my parents say. So I just gotta applaud you for that one. That's some like some like summer barbecue as they say that. I mean I can definitely get behind it. I understand why. Do you think about the success? You think about okay, well we were down all these players, we were close in the games. I can see that. But I think I'm just probably thinking just I'm comparing this team way too much to teams that are just doing good. Like where
Mm,
are we compared to the Bills? Where are we compared to the Chiefs? To the Bengals now. I mean,
yeah.
I think soon, the Chargers, and who knows where Aaron Rodgers is going to go. I personally, if I'm a betting man, he's going to the Broncos.
Mm.
So it's like you're going to have all this competition. Uh, it's definitely scary, and I just hope that we can get it right. And I hope
Yeah.
Harbaugh is the guy. I'll be rooting for the team, but it's disappointed but not surprised. I just say that.
Exactly. Like it just doesn't really feel like his job is on the line or in jeopardy, like at
No,
all. You
no.
know, it's like the front office looks at Harbaugh and they're like, he can do no wrong. You
That
know,
country club, going
that
out
country club.
golfing. You know,
Yeah.
got the lemonade, the spike lemonade. Got the little what is it, the umbrella in there. No,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you heard it here first, folks. The Rain Gang says it's about a 7. I'm saying about a 5 out of 10. Alex, you're saying what again?
like a 6.5.
Like a 6.5 out of 10. So,
Yeah,
we're all kind of like right there in the
we're
middle.
not
I'm
over the
kind of
moon
the
about
most
it.
not over the moon about it, not at all. I don't think anybody is a 7, even what the Rain Gang is saying. They're not over the moon about it either,
No.
But we'll see what happens. Like I said, we're very familiar with Harbaugh as head coach. He's very familiar with this team, obviously. So I do have faith in him that he can turn it around. With injuries, our guys getting back healthy again for next season, maybe he can make something happen. But we will
Yeah.
see. And we're gonna leave that there. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic we have, which is Mike Macdonald, our
Old
new
McDonald.
defensive coordinator. Old Macdonald.
New McDonald had a farm. New McDonald had a
N-
defense. There
He
we
had a
go.
defense. Yeah, he had a defense. And hopefully he can produce some double-digit sacks from somebody. I don't know. But hopefully he can put somebody in
Turnovers?
the right position.
Maybe some turnovers.
Turnovers, negative plays, things of that nature. We need that more than ever. But like I said, guys, Mike Macdonald is hired as the new defensive coordinator. It is official as of, I think, Thursday night.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just in short, Alex, how are you feeling about this move? We haven't heard from you yet.
Okay. When they set out who we're gonna interview, I'm like, oh god, we're gonna get Rob Ryan, we're gonna get Anthony Weaver. No disrespect to either of them, but me
Right.
and you both agreed that we wanted somebody outside the organization. We didn't want an internal hire. We
Mm.
didn't get an internal hire, but we got an internal hire.
Yeah, right.
We got one. I mean, but what I can do is I'm just gonna bring up some stats
Okay.
from when he was at Michigan. And I've said it before, I hate this whole Michigan thing because I don't like how we've taken guys from Michigan that we didn't even really need. I.e., Ben Mason, Ben Bredesen, traded him. Um, but at the same time, he did go in as he's a young coach, and he turned around Michigan. So some of their stats here, they ranked 8th in the nation in scoring defense, allowing 17.4 points per game. It's not like they're
Yeah.
playing against, like no disrespect, Towson.
Right.
They're not playing against them. They're playing against big teams.
Mm-hmm.
They finished 20th in yards per game, 330.9. We had games we gave that up in the first half.
Yeah.
And 11th in red zone touchdown efficiency, 45.7%. McDonald also played an instrumental role in the standout performance of defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, who earned
Mm.
first team All American honors, Heisman Trophy finalist after producing a career high and single season school record 14 sacks.
Love to see it.
I'm
Love to
excited.
see it. And this is
That
from a
right
D
there,
lineman. Like,
big.
not an edge rusher, but a defensive lineman.
First round
Like,
pick potential.
oh, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about that's where Myles Garrett went, first round,
Yeah.
first overall. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he's Myles Garrett, but that's just definitely exciting. And just obviously he was with the Ravens as our linebackers corp. Our linebacker coach. He'll produce the NFL's number one overall defense, 307.8 yards per game, and the league's fewest points per game, 18.2. And under him, Mosley and Judon made the Pro Bowl.
Mm. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, you look at, and here's the reason why I'm starting to like this move more and more. You look at a guy like Mike Macdonald. Yes, he's, kind of an in-house signing technically. But at the same time, he does have a lot of experience with the Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
like coaching up defensive players, like, because, he was a linebackers coach. So he also has a lot of experience against the AFC North, which we just got done going 1-5 against this year.
That's
So
not talked about enough, I
it's
think.
not. It's not. We were terrible in our divisional games this season, winning only one. So yeah, we were 1-5, and like I said, Mike Macdonald, he's very familiar with the AFC North, but the AFC North is not very familiar with Mike Macdonald yet as a
Talk about it.
defensive coordinator. They're very used to 58-year-old Wink Martindale and what
Mm,
he's used to doing and staying in his old ways. But
mm.
when 34-year-old Mike Macdonald comes into the fold and he's, being innovative and he's trying new things, he's throwing new things at Zach Taylor and Kevin Stefanski and all the other Mike Tomlin, all the other coaches in the AFC North, that's going to shake things up. And I think that's going to bode well for our defense. It's going to throw a lot of new looks at guys like Joe Burrow, whoever the Steelers have at quarterback next year, and Baker Mayfield if he's still in Cleveland. So that's why I really do like this move. One, because he's a young guy. I feel like he's not going to be stuck in his ways. He's going to be innovative. He's going to be creative. Two, because he already knows the AFC North, and the AFC North doesn't really know him all that much yet. So those two reasons I really, really do like this hiring. Now, before we get into kind of like our drawbacks, I want to bring up these tweets that you sent me.
Okay.
I want to bring up these tweets so we can talk about those a little bit more. Let me see.
Now, this is what got me excited, these tweets. Personally, I know. I think when you hear about new coaching or coach, you want to know like what they do best and what they're gonna bring different compared to what we have with Wink. We know what you got with Wink. Wink would switch up the blitz schemes, but sometimes you wouldn't know what he would bring.
Right.
Late game situations. So somebody asked PFF_Dealey. I don't think either of us are a fan of PFF, but this right here, we're not talking about the grading of how they grade players. Just kind of how we play the game. So they said expect to see something more along the modern lines. Already, I'm loving that. We're playing modern football, like the game has evolved.
Yeah.
So no more, the run game can't win you games. It can, but it's a passing league. Let's just be honest. I said quarters in cover one, brackets when playing good receivers. Oh my gosh, good receivers in the AFC North? No way. Just look at the Bengals. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Oh wait, Steelers. Deontay Johnson. I know he's a drops. Chase Claypool lights us up. And the Browns, Jarvis Landry. Hell, Donovan Peoples-Jones, he'll have a good game against us. So we have good quality receivers we're playing. And next year, who do we play? Oh, the NFC South. Mike Evans. I mean, Chris Godwin's going to be a free agent. If Michael Thomas is with the Saints. But the Panthers, DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And then I think we play the AFC East. Stephon Diggs, play the Bills. Lovely. We're playing good receivers next year. That's big. And he also says, this defense will take things off of the linebackers' plate, so Queen will improve IMO. That right there to me, that's the key to my heart right there. You won me over.
That's huge. Yeah.
And I think that re-signing Bynes and Fort will be huge because he was here when they both were here. But right there, I think we're going to see a huge improvement. I think if we can just let our linebackers play freely, I think you're just going to see a huge impact. Just improvement. You saw with Patrick Queen. They gave him the will to just play the ball, see ball, get ball. We're talking about tackles for losses in damn near every game.
Yeah. Yeah, and you saw what that did for Patrick Queen's development, man. He was definitely making some plays after they made that switch. He even actually went back to playing the Mike linebacker position for a couple plays too down the stretch, and he didn't look too bad. And there were certain times where he did kind of look a little bit lost out there, but he looked like he was making strides. He was making improvements, which is what we want to see. But like you said, to your point again, like seeing that Mike Macdonald can come in and take stress and take pressure off of Patrick Queen, off of the young star linebacker, that's going to bode huge for his his success in the next couple of years, I think, at least. And then you also make another really good point. Brackets when playing good wide receivers. Yeah, man. Like Jamar Chase went for 200 against us. A rookie.
Ooh.
A rookie. And you got to think about this rookie is going to be even better next season. You think he's not going to work on his craft?
Yeah.
Come on now. He's going to be even better. So, like, having a strategy in order to kind of, like, neutralize that offense of the Bengals, neutralize the offense of the Browns and the Steelers is definitely going to work well for us, I think, for sure. Because we got to win some more divisional games. We just do.
Yeah. You got to go over 500 if you want a chance to get in the playoffs. We go over 500, we're in the playoffs.
All you got to do is win your division and you're in the playoffs. Yeah. Like, just beat the teams that are in front of you. Beat the teams that are in front of you that are in your division, man, and you will be fine. Yeah. But I do really like that tweet, and I like that you brought that one up. Let's go ahead and get into the next one that you sent me. Actually, let's see.
And while you're bringing it up, too, I think we both will agree that with our linebackers, whether it's Queen or Harrison, if they can improve in their coverage, that's what we're really missing, I think, coverage and tackling. After that, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, that's
Right.
what I think most fans know. But this quote, um, let me know how you feel about this.
Okay.
So Michigan had not beaten Ohio State, I think, since 2011.
Mm.
Like 4K TV wasn't a thing. I saw a tweet. It's like you've
Mm.
never seen Michigan beat Ohio State on 4K TV. He said that they tried to change things up so it wasn't the same thing over and over again for the Michigan players. They wanted to
Mm-hmm.
give them relief every once in a while and try to change the picture on the quarterback of Ohio State. First reaction, how do you feel about that? Just hearing that, how that you're playing a rival, like your biggest rival that you haven't beaten in what 9 or 10 years. To this,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like what he did. Like you said, and I didn't know that Michigan hadn't beaten Ohio State for since 2011. I didn't
yeah,
know that. But it looks like him coming into the organization, he kind of saw what was going on in the past. Like, okay, this is the reason we're not beating these guys, and I think we need to implement this, that, and the third strategy in order to do that. So those are what adjustments. He made adjustments, before he even
wait,
got
wait,
into the
wait. One more
building.
time. What did he make? What
He
did he
made
make?
adjustments,
Music to my ears. Mm.
which is what we need. What we need exactly from all of our coaches. Defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, from Harbaugh to. But definitely it's important for a defensive coordinator in order to be able to make adjustments. Now, another thing, a little bit of pushback on this tweet, Alex. I did hear that Mike Macdonald, he did get out coached a couple times at Michigan. Like,
Yeah.
I think they played Georgia. Of course, they
Mm-hmm.
won it all this year. And then there was another team too. There's another one or two teams that they said he got out coached against. And I'll have to go back and probably look into those games a little bit
Yeah.
deeper.
I got you.
But my thing is though, like, I don't want my coach, my defensive coordinator, getting out coached in the
No.
playoffs because we don't have time for that. We literally don't have
No.
time. You know,
No. It's one
like
and
this
done.
is this is
It's not
one and done. This is
basketball. It's not seven
right. This
game
is our.
series.
It's not. It's not a 7 game series. You either make adjustments on the fly within those 3 hours that a football game takes place, or you're done for the season.
And the
So it's
biggest thing
like,
is you have halftime. You have halftime is like you're gonna make them now, or you're not gonna make them at all. And that's what I
right.
love about it. Like that's the only. I mean, you can make them on the fly. By halftime, you have about what 12 minutes to talk about it. Then you're back
Yeah,
out there.
you're right back out. Exactly. So I just don't think that that's the only reason. And nobody's perfect. No defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator is going to be perfect, hit 100% of the time, be right 100% of the time. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that I don't want what happened to the Bills against the Chiefs. I don't want that to happen to us. I
13
don't
seconds
want
left.
prevent defense. Leave the middle of the field wide open against one of the best teams that can work the seam in the league with Travis Kelce. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That I mean, come on. That's what we don't have time for. We don't. And we don't have time to be getting out coached, by an Eric Bieniemy, who is a great offensive coordinator. We don't have time to be getting out coached by Sean McDermott, by all these other guys. We just don't, because like we're the Ravens, man. We have a very, very small window. Our window was this open. It was this open
Yeah.
about 2 years ago. Now
Yep.
that window has shrunk so much. It's like right here. And for you guys that are just listening to this right now, we have a very small window that we're showing.
Yeah.
A very,
We're
very
talking
small
about
window.
like it's cracked open to the point like one of those stink bugs that can like make itself like a piece of paper can get in. It's hard to
Right.
get in there.
Yeah. Basically, what we're saying is we got a year left to make this thing right.
Literally.
We got a year left. So
Yeah.
we can't afford our rookie defensive coordinator to be coming in here and be screwing the pooch in an AFC divisional game or an AFC championship game. If we even make it there, we just don't have time for that. So, but like I said, nobody's perfect. And the fact that we're seeing tweets like this, like he does make adjustments. He is an innovative guy. He puts guys in the right position. You mentioned Aiden Hutchinson, who got 14 sacks. We had David Ojabo, edge rusher, got 11 sacks.
It could
Daxton
be looked
Hill
at at
playing
number
safety.
14. Number 14 pick. I mean, I
Could
don't
be.
like those. I mean, I wish we'd have gotten Quiddy Pay. That's the only guy from Michigan I want it now. But Ojabo definitely, you got to keep your eye on it now. I mean, if you're a betting person, oh my God, Michigan defensive coordinator, Michigan defensive player, it makes sense. It's there. I mean, between him, Sauce Gardner, or Lyman,
Yeah.
it's gonna be one of those three. I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it should be a lineman. If you
Yeah,
ask me,
should be.
I still think it should be a lineman.
Yep.
But I wouldn't be upset if the Ravens drafted, Ojabo to play alongside Oweh, and then we just have like, a devastating pass rush. I would love that. I would love that, but You know what I would love even more? Protection for Lamar Jackson.
Talk about it.
That's what I
Uh,
want
and
even more.
and before we move on, if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, because it's not sports. I can't get on FanDuel on my phone yet, but if it was, I would bet Oway 10 plus X next year. I'm
Mm,
on it. The same way you said Mark Andrews like top two, not two, which he wasn't. I'm talking Oway 10 sacks more.
okay.
I don't know
I like that.
why. But, I mean, last year what he had 5 or 6, and he's getting dropped in coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me 10 plus.
Yeah. I mean, I think I saw an interview with one of the edge rushers for Michigan, kind of talking about how Mike Macdonald helped him out, and he was saying before Mike Macdonald got there, they had him actually playing in the dirt a lot. Like so he
Oh,
wasn't standing up like off the when the play starts.
yeah,
And he said Mike Macdonald came, he allowed him to stand up on the edge, and it just felt so natural. And he went out
yeah.
and he produced a lot more. So if he can put guys like Oway in the right place and not have him dropping back into coverage and stuff like that, and have him in his natural habitat, which is rushing the passer, using that athleticism to get to the quarterback, then hey, I think that could also
Yeah.
bode well for us in our defense. So, I mean, I definitely agree with you there. I think that he can definitely notch 10 plus sacks next season. And it wouldn't be a bad bet either. That's not a bad bet.
I'm
So,
stamping on it throughout the offseason. That's my stamp.
yeah.
That's my Mark Andrews prediction of yours last year.
Yeah. So you heard it here first, folks. That is our initial opinions and takes on the Mike Macdonald hiring as the new defensive coordinator for the Ravens. We're going to go ahead and move on here into our last two topics of this episode. First being that Lamar Jackson actually
Yes.
declined the Pro Bowl due to his
Yes.
ankle injury. So what, Alex, just remind me, jog my memory. What week was that we played the Browns and he got hurt because Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah tripped him up and got that ankle injury? What week was that? I can't
I want to
remember.
say 14. I believe 14.
14.
Because we lost
That was
6
week
straight to the end of the year,
14.
right? Because 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah.
Hmm.
14 against the Browns. Yeah.
So that was in week 14. So that was
I'll,
over.
I'm going to pull up the exact day it was.
Yeah,
I'll just
please.
get straight to it. I mean,
Let's get straight to it because I want to know exactly how much time that was ago, because it just came out yesterday that Lamar
yeah.
Jackson was not participating in the Pro Bowl.
It was week 14. It was December 12th.
December 12th. Okay. Okay. So that's over a month ago. Over
Yeah.
a month. Almost a month and a half. Um, and Lamar Jackson still can't play football. So why was it that like in week 14, in week 15, in week 16, we heard all this news about, oh, Lamar, he's not practicing yet, but like, oh, he might be practicing, and then he actually did practice, and then they kind of shut him down for the
Yeah.
season without actually shutting him down for the
Yeah.
season. They just had him inactive.
Yeah.
Why does the Ravens organization? My question is this: why does the Ravens organization choose to hide so many things, from the fans?
Yep.
Now, some people might say, they still had opponents left on the schedule, and they wanted to, be smoke and mirrors. Was Lamar playing? Was he not playing? But I think that's stupid. I think that's
It's
stupid. If
idiotic.
the man's hurt, he's hurt.
Yeah. I mean, and you
So
saw it, and he was limping throughout the practice.
right,
And what, you know, well, if we made the playoffs, Lamar maybe could have came back. No, we were going to see Tyler Huntley out there. No disrespect to him, but we're
right.
going to see our backup quarterback out there, and it would have been number 8.
No,
I texted you this yesterday. I'm like, I'm just disgusted with the way that we treated the quarterback that revitalized our franchise.
yeah,
How many primetime games were we getting pre 2018, 2019?
not a whole lot.
If anything, I know like we had a Monday night game against the Texans, I believe. Yeah,
Mm,
against like Tom Savage, whoever it was.
toilet bowl.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fun. We had a Thursday night game against the Bengals, Flacco and Dalton in 2018. Yeah,
Mm,
that was fun. Lamar's rookie year, we didn't have any primetime games. If anything, primetime was the 425 on week 17 that they had to flex because nobody wanted to watch it in the first place. And then you go
right.
into 2019, primetime games. 2020, primetime
Prime
games.
time
How many we had? Our first 3 out of our 4 or 5 games, primetime.
or prime time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, people want to see Lamar Jackson play for very good reason. He's an amazing, phenomenal football player. But the only people who kind of the main people who fail to realize that is the Ravens. Sometimes,
Yep.
it's like build a fortress around Lamar Jackson.
Like
I mean,
2019.
exactly like 2019. If you really want to see the most production out of him, draft some fat boys. Draft some fat boys, and we can kind of get rid of this whole injury thing. Because what was the reason why? Because he didn't get hurt scrambling like around and whatnot, right? He was still dropping back,
He was
scrambled
dropping
up
back.
about a little bit, yeah, just kind of roll out of the pocket, but then he got clipped up. And I think it was like somebody who missed an important block on that play. I can't remember who it was.
Not
I don't know if it
surprised.
was Powers or it was somebody or Villy. I don't know who it was, but somebody missed a block and allowed JOK to get through free. So get more protection from my guy. If you want to see us win football games, if you want to see him back to the MVP status, if you want to see us make the playoffs and go on a deep playoff run, get protection for him. That's the number one priority in this offseason for me. So that way you don't have to watch Lamar get hurt and then you have to hide whether or not he's hurt or not or whether or not he's going to play or not. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Oh, it was a screen. Oh my gosh. I'm watching it. It was a screen. Uh, it was Ben Powers and Tyree Phillips.
Mm,
Oh no, it was so Bozeman picked him up. Oh, who was our right guard? Was Zeitler? So
Zeitler.
Zeitler picked up one of the blocks, and Phillips just let JOK run right by him. And I get that Phillips was gonna go block for the screen. Oh boy, he was 5 yards down the field and got a penalty for illegal man downfield. I like watching him is just so frustrating, and
Yeah.
knowing that he possibly was the reason that Lamar got hurt. We talk about the Super Bowl, and when they talk about it, you don't put the blame on Patrick Mahomes. It was
No.
the line. He had no line. Lamar had no line. Where's the same energy for that?
I don't know, man. They're always going to treat like a quote unquote running quarterback a little bit different when it comes to something
You saw
like that.
Mahomes was scrambling on Sunday, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I think like Mahomes scrambling and Lamar scrambling. Well, Lamar scrambles look different from any other quarterback scrambles
Yeah,
because it looks like he's supposed to be doing this. Like he
yeah.
he knows exactly what he's doing. You can look back to the run against the Cincinnati Bengals in 2019, and
Mm,
we all know which run I'm talking about.
he is who
That
duty.
run, exactly. That run right there is a run that no other quarterback in the league, not a Kyler Murray,
Nope.
not a Deshaun Watson, not
Nope.
any mobile quarterback can do what Lamar Jackson did on that play. So when we kind of saw that, it kind of put this notion in our head that like, hey, this guy basically is, and I hate to say this guy basically is like a running back, you know, like so. With that being said, I feel like a lot of people judge him a lot and they criticize him a lot differently when he
Hmm.
runs the ball versus when Patrick Mahomes, you know,
Josh
any of these
Allen.
Josh Allen, they run the ball. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're always going to judge him differently. That's not going
Yeah.
to change. But
And
yeah,
speaking of the Pro Bowl, I mean, Josh Allen's not going to go because he says he's banged up and wants to be fully healthy.
mm,
He's admitting he's banged up, and there's no type of backlash, outcry.
yeah,
I don't know. Listen. We're just dumb, football fans. You get there. We're dumb. We don't know anything.
that's all. We don't know any. We don't know what we're talking about exactly. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic, which is the last topic of this episode, which is the rumors that Ravens are open to trading Lamar Jackson. So we just got done talking about how the Ravens don't really recognize Lamar Jackson as their saving grace, you know, and now we're hearing rumors that they're open to trading him. We don't know exactly how true these rumors really are, but we're gonna go ahead and nip it in the bud right here, right now on the Purple Rain podcast, and the answer is absolutely fucking not.
Oh my goodness, you were the first one to curse, and it was the F bomb.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, because that's just stupid. Like, you told me that before we went live, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I was laughing. I was laughing at you telling me that. Because it's just like,
Can
what
confirm.
sense does that even make? What sense does that make? Like, trade Lamar? For who? For what? And, like, just completely just forget about everything that we've been building over the past, like, 2, 3 seasons. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, I woke up. It was a Friday. It's weird. We're on a Friday. Just it's 11:30, 7
I know,
talking.
right? This is weird.
It's like I wake up, get my stretch in, check the notifications, and I go onto the Bird app, Twitter, and I'm like, I read this. I'm like, huh? I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I've had enough of this already, and I just closed my phone off and just got ready to go. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna read this off. So, last week, the reliable Barstool Banks recently insinuated in an article that the Ravens have some things going on behind the scenes that will make your head spin. During the past week, I've had a few things shared with me. I'll file it under educated speculation about Lamar Jackson. Lamar has been nothing short of a breath of fresh air since arriving in Baltimore. Outstanding player, great teammate, selfless and accountable. Some things
Mm-hmm.
don't add up, including Lamar's late season regression, the lack of any contractual movement, and despite the criticisms, the decision to retain Greg Roman as the team's offensive coordinator. Rumors have recently surfaced that the Ravens, one, may consider a potential trade for Lamar, and two, some of his off the field behaviors may have contributed to the former MVP's disappointing 2021, but they are just that, rumors.
Hmm. Thinking about all that, processing that information.
Off the field, only thing I can remember is 2 or 3 years ago he was driving fast. That's all I can remember.
Yeah. The only thing that I can really think about is the fact that like Lamar, he does get sick a lot. So I don't know
Yeah,
what it is he's putting into his body.
yeah,
Maybe that's has something to do with it. Maybe the Ravens organization is like, hey, there's no reason why you should be sick or on the illness report, like every 2-3 weeks or every
yeah.
2 weeks, not even every 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's
Super
bad.
often. I don't
Even his
know.
rookie
Maybe.
year happened.
Yeah.
His first game before he played, he was in the hospital on that Thursday.
Right. But at the end of the day, the kid makes fucking plays. He makes plays and he wins
That's
football games.
and when we saw him out, he was the MVP through week what 8, week
Yeah.
whenever he again at the Vikings game. We're 8-3.
Yeah.
No, we're 7-3, I think, because Huntley went against the Bears, and then no, we were like what 6-2, I think. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
After the Colts game, he was MVP. I was at the game. We were chanting
Right.
it like it was 440 some yards. Brought us back down from 19 points.
Yep.
Won us the game against the Chiefs. He wasn't looking the same because of this fucking offensive coordinator. I'm dropping it now. That's the reason you want to talk about where it is.
Right.
And this is why I said there's been just I'm hitting things now, but there's been this lack of just the front office and the fans. It's not there. We don't trust them. Sorry, no matter how bad you want to say it, that's why I don't really go on Twitter anymore. It's just so negative, but that's how I feel. There's no connect anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean, definitely agree because we're kind of left in the dark with everything. We wake up to statements about Wink Martindale getting released
Yep.
for whatever reason, and it's just like, okay, all right, cool. What happens next? So, I mean, I'm not gonna put anything past the Ravens at this point. It's very very early in our off season. We still have months and
Oh my
months of
goodness. This is
news
gonna be a long
and everything to
offseason.
cover. It's gonna be a long off season. So make sure you guys buckle down, strap up. Because the Purple Rain podcast, we're going to be covering every little piece of Ravens news that comes out. And there's going to be a lot of big news. I think we can see that in our forecast this offseason. There's going to be a lot of big news. But just to kind of wrap it all up and put in a nice, cute little bow, we do not think that the Ravens are open to trading Lamar Jackson,
No,
really. We
no.
think that these rumors are bogus. Whoever wrote these rumors are what the kids call a bozo.
Oh,
And yeah, I just
dare
don't
I
see it
say
happening.
ratio? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Oh, I just got my first ratio the other day. I did.
Really?
Yes. Somebody was actually, and it's funny how I got it too. It was a real little sidetrack. I think it's funny how I got it. It was after the Chiefs Bills game. Somebody like left a comment underneath somebody's post saying that like, oh, Josh Allen's a choke artist, this and that. Like he doesn't deserve it, whatever. And I'm like, I tweeted, I was like, I've never done this before, and I'm a Ravens fan, but ratio. And sure enough, I ratioed him.
I need to go and I have to look it up. Mind you, Sutton's profile picture is him in a Marlon Humphrey jersey.
Yeah.
Like this isn't that fake, it's not like a guy who just switches profile picture to a Ravens player. No, he's an actual person wearing a
Right.
Ravens jersey. It's in his bio, Purple Rain Podcast, Ravens football.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
So it's, I mean, because I just didn't understand that comment. That comment just seems so troll to me. Like you're really saying Josh Allen choked?
I gotta look this up right now. I gotta
That is so funny. But
Wow.
yeah, guys. So I think that is going to wrap it up for this episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Obviously, we didn't go live this time, so everybody again is part of the hashtag Replay Gang. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Make sure you like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoyed the content today, tonight or to evening. Whenever you're listening or watching this, we appreciate you guys regardless. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap here. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def down below, so you can see all my newest ratios. Because now I got to start doing that.
I just
It was
found
super
it.
fun.
I loved it.
And then you can find Simply AS10 on Twitter at Simply AS10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And make sure you don't forget to follow him or subscribe to him rather on YouTube at Simply AS10.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You've been going crazy. Let's talk about that for a second. You've been going crazy lately. I seen Patrick Queen. He posted, your video. James Prochet. I want to say either Averett or Tony Jefferson. One of them.
Averett, yeah.
Averett. Yeah. Like, so you've been going crazy. This
I, w-
guy's
I,
been
w-
going nuts
I was on
recently.
IG Live with Prochet, and
Yeah.
he'll be back in Baltimore in April.
Really.
Let's just say I'm gonna try to get him on.
Hmm.
If you watch to the end, I'm gonna try to work some magic. If we can get him on here.
You
Channel
heard it here
three,
first, folks. Say
Channel
hello.
three XPRP. Come on.
Woo! James Prochet. Can you imagine? We
We've
have a lot of
been
things to say.
we've been you can go back and say like we've been trying to tell you to use him since 2020.
Yeah.
Like where
Yeah.
has he been? I you
There's
go
literally
back to
like
the
a
game.
whole episode dedicated to why we should be using James Prochet and Devin Duvernay more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one too. So,
And let's not forget fuck Eli Apple. Just gonna leave it
mm.
there. Leave it there. Not a big fan of
That
him.
was hilarious too.
Yeah, I need the Chiefs to win. Big
Yeah,
time. Sorry.
yeah. Oh man, if you guys haven't seen Alex's Eli Apple like this video, his lowlights, you guys definitely got to
Dude,
check that out.
this song was I can't listen to Super Gremlin anymore now without hearing that guy's rendition in my head. I love it.
Yeah. Man, I guess that's what happens when you talk shit as a professional athlete. It's like you gotta stay
Yeah. Oh
classy, man.
boy.
Stay classy
Yeah.
because the internet is undefeated. I promise
Mm.
you.
Seen it before and you'll see it again.
See it again, exactly. But this has been this rendition of the Purple Rain podcast. We're gonna catch you guys in the next one, and I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Yes. I don't it's not an episode, but you know what the deal is. And next Monday
Hmm.
we have a John Harbaugh presser. Uh it's gonna be good. I mean like
Yes.
talking live stream, we're talking everything. Be
Hmm.
there or be square. And as
Yeah.
always, stay positive, test negative.
Most importantly, never ever ever forget to call